Hi, it's Helix with part 2 of my tutorial on how to do my style of text on either, I don't know, signature, YouTube background or whatever you want. Now in the last tutorial I showed you how to basically do it in Cinema 4D, the grid effect, the materials I use, that sort of stuff. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you the Photoshop side of it, how I make it look like I do, stuff like that pretty much. So what you want to first do is you want to open up your text setup or a new document or whatever. Get any of your color corrections. For this one I will just be using this bottom one here. Then what you want to do is you want to go to open or place, find your Cinema 4D. For this one I will use the one I use for Corey, his contest entry, and as you can see this is how it looks here. Now what you want to do is just rasterize the layer and then turn on the color correction. Now as you can see this color correction makes the text look very nice. It gives it the correct color for the lava effect. Of course you could always go to hue and saturation and change it to whatever you wish, and that if you turn it down, turn it to +10, it looks quite nice compared to what it was, but I would just stick with what it is for now. So then, since the text is pretty dark, what you want to do is you want to go to a new layer, hold Alt in between the layers and click to create a clipping mask on top of the layer. Get a normal white brush, turn the layer to soft light, and then what you can do is you can zoom in and then go around the text, and as you can see it's starting to produce a bit more light onto the text so it's not as dark. Like you could just simply go around the whole thing and turn it light, but I don't really like doing that. And then what you want to do is just turn it down a little bit and then hit the screen. And as you can see it looks a lot better than it was. Sacrifice I will just go around the text like that, turn it down a bit more, and as you can see it looks better than just being dark like that. Then what else you can do is you can add grunge, to be honest whatever you please to it, but what I like to do is just Control E, merge the layers, Control J, go to filters and filter gallery, and then go to stylize glowing edges, 2 edge width, 6 edge brightness and 5 smoothness. Press OK, and then put that layer onto screen. Then as you can see it turns out like this. Now it's personal preference, you can really keep it like that if you want, but instead I turn it down to 20% opacity, and as you can see it gives just like a nice pop-up effect. Now merge those 2 layers, Control J, again filter gallery. Now this is completely optional, you don't have to do this at all, but I go to splatter, 10 spray radius, 5 smoothness, and press OK, and then I turn that down to 20 also. Get a brush, turn down the size, something like 100 should do, and just erase it from the text part like this. Now, there's not much of a difference at the moment, but it still gives it just like a nice hint, if that makes sense. Like that's with it off, and then you turn it on and it just gives it like a nice effect. Now you can merge those like you want. Now from now you can, like I said, do whatever you want, get a bit of grunge, you don't have to, but that's just personal preference. Now what I do in my backgrounds is, one second, I'll open it up and I'll show you. Now okay, so what you want to do is you want to drag them both into your text setup. Just like that. Now what I do is, people think I use stocks for this type, but it's actually just brushes I use. So I create a new layer. I use like a reddish type of brush, and I recently not long ago put up a brush pack, and I will try and find that link and put it in the description, but I use 428, which is this brush here, and yeah, 428, and then what I do is I just simply brush around it like this. Wait 1 second. Put it on. Just bear with me 1 second while I find the colour I used. Okay, well, because of the colour correction, it always seems to go to the same colour anyway, so once you've got a decent like background that you like, Control J to layer, edit, transform, horizontal, and then just move it along like that. You can merge the layers, make a new layer again, paint, go to the brush tool, and then find another brush that you like, so I'll use this one, and then just like colour at the background, Control J, transform, flip horizontal, and move along. Now, as you can see, this is basically how I do it, just find the brushes that will look right and combine them together. One thing I did miss was I have a PSD from a pack I got a while ago, which does have lava, like lava drips in it, which is what you might see on my text sometimes. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because it will take a while and it will make the tutorial just too long. If you want that pack, you can hit me with a PM and I will be happy to upload it and give it you, but I'm not going to just like put it in the description or anything like that. If you want it, you're going to have to PM me for it. Now merge those two layers again, make a new layer, and this is really just all about finding what you like this sort of thing. It's just completely up to you. You can just like making it look really nice. Now people say it may look a bit too bright, stuff like that, but it's all down to personal preference of what you really like. Turn that down a bit like that. Now what you could do is you could also do a one on top of the text, but maybe something like this where it's not just big chunks of brush, and like just do like this. Now then turn down the opacity and then delete some of the text like that. Then I'm not going to go into too much detail like adding loads and loads like I usually do. I'm just going to keep it simple. And then something you can do is you can hold Shift, Control J, Control E to merge the background, merge all the layers together. And then once you've got this layer, what you could do is, something I like to do is filter, blur, radial blur. Now I like to change the amount to 15, change it to zoom and best. Move it up with it just a tiny bit to the top left and press OK. Let it just finish. And as you can see, it gives it like, oh actually I'm just gonna undo that and I'm gonna blur, radial blur, same again, but this time just keep it into the middle. Probably change it down to 13 actually and press OK. Then just let it finish its radial blur. And then when it's done, it should give the effect of it's popping out the text, just like that. Now you can see the blur looks like it's coming from the middle. Now this is how I do mine. Change the opacity down to 60%, and then go along and just erase it off the insides of the text like this. But keep it on the outside so it still looks like it's popping out from the text. Now if you really want, if you like that, you could just keep it exactly like that, but what I do is I turn down the layer to 40%. Now if you turn that off, it still gives the kind of look like it's a bit blurred on the outsides and still looks fine to me, and this is just how I like it. Something else you could do is, if you want to make it a bit higher quality, you could always sharpen it, but you don't have to. You could again go to filter gallery, glowing edges, and go on simulate the screen. You can keep it like that. That actually looks pretty cool for an effect, but turn that down to 15%, and then that's one thing you could do. Another thing I found lately that might look good is oil paint. This is for CS5, CS6, sorry. And zoom in a tiny bit. What you could do is just mess around with the settings. I think something like that looks nice. Press OK, and then that makes it, actually that looks pretty nice. I've not personally used that before in one of these backgrounds, but what you could do is you could erase the text part so it doesn't look all oil painted on there. What you could do is turn the layer down, just try 30%, maybe 50% maybe. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. And then just to finish this off, what you could do is you could add go back to your normal brush, make it very big, like something like that, put it up to the top, and then top and bottom do that, do it twice, put it down to soft light, and then you can turn it down to about 75, gives it a tiny bit of light, maybe on top and bottom. Now this is how I do most of my new style backgrounds. The reason why I'm doing a tutorial on it is because people have been asking me, and well, I don't see any harm in showing you like how I do it. And yeah, now you could experiment with this more, add in stocks, flares, grunge, lighting, whatever you please. It would be cool to see how some of you can come up with like a better version of this. And if you do, I would love to see it. Either post it in the description, send me a private message, or whatever you please. But yeah, I hope this helps you achieve whatever you need to do. If you want this color correction, as I think I've said it earlier in the tutorial, to send me a private message and I will be happy to give you this color correction. If not, you can always download more, like the Dare Arts. Dave, I think that's got a few in that's pretty decent. You can always go around on YouTube, different packs, there's hundreds and hundreds of color corrections. But yeah, like I said, PM me and I'll be happy to send you this one. So yeah, I hope this helped you, and thanks for watching the tutorial. If you want more, then subscribe, be sure to like the video and comment, and I'll see you next time.